as Isabella Whitmore made her way down the quiet street. Her heels clicked softly against the pavement, echoing in the stillness of the evening. She had just enjoyed a lovely dinner with friends, and now, wrapped in the warmth of her light pink blazer, she was looking forward to a peaceful walk home. Isabella, or Bella as her friends called her, was the picture of elegance and grace, her white blouse tucked neatly into high-waist jeans, and her designer sneakers added a touch of casual chic to her ensemble. The leather shoulder bag slung across her body held the remnants of the evening. A half-eaten dessert wrapped carefully in a napkin, a token of the laughter and joy shared with her companions. At 24, Bella was the epitome of a millionaire's daughter, kind-hearted, independent, and perhaps a little naive to the dangers that lurked in the shadows of even the most affluent neighborhoods. Her father, Charles Whitmore, had always tried to instill a sense of caution in his beloved daughter, but Bella's trusting nature often won out. As she rounded the corner onto Maple Street, the peaceful night was suddenly shattered by the low, menacing growl of motorcycle engines. The sound grew louder, surrounding her like a pack of wolves closing in on their prey. Bella's heart began to race, her grip tightening on her bag as she quickened her pace. From the darkness emerged a group of bikers, their chrome-plated machines glinting ominously in the dim streetlights. They circled her slowly, like sharks in the water, their leather jackets creaking as they leaned forward on their handlebars. The leader of the pack, a man known only as Razor, cut an intimidating figure atop his massive black Harley. Razor's eyes, hidden behind mirrored sunglasses despite the late hour, seemed to bore into Bella's soul. His weathered face, framed by a red bandana, twisted into a cruel smirk as he revved his engine, the sound echoing off the nearby buildings like a demonic chorus. "Well, well, well," Razor's gravelly voice cut through the night air. "What do we have here? Looks like a little lost lamb has wandered into wolf territory." Bella's breath caught in her throat as she tried to maintain her composure. She knew her father's wealth made her a target, but she had never imagined finding herself in such a terrifying situation. Her mind raced, searching for a way out, but the wall of motorcycles and leather-clad riders left no escape route. Just as panic began to set in, the screech of tires pierced the air. A sleek black Bentley came to an abrupt stop at the edge of the circle, its headlights cutting through the darkness like a beacon of hope. The driver's door swung open, and out stepped Charles Whitmore, his 52-year-old frame radiating an aura of authority that seemed to push back the encroaching darkness. Charles's navy blue tailored suit was impeccable, his gold cufflinks catching the light as he straightened his jacket. His polished black shoes clicked against the pavement as he strode forward, his classic silver watch glinting on his wrist. Despite the tension in the air, Charles's face remained a mask of calm determination. "Gentlemen," Charles's voice rang out, clear and commanding, "I believe you've mistaken my daughter for someone who might be intimidated by your little display." Razor's head snapped towards the newcomer, his surprise evident even behind his sunglasses. "And who might you be, old man?" he snarled, trying to maintain his air of menace. Charles's lips curled into a small, knowing smile. "Charles Whitmore, I believe you've heard of me." A murmur rippled through the gang. Even Razor seemed to falter for a moment, recognition dawning on his face. Charles Whitmore was not just any millionaire. He was a legend in both business and philanthropic circles, known for his shrewd mind and unexpected methods of problem-solving. "Now," Charles continued, his voice taking on a tone of casual interest, "I couldn't help but notice you gentlemen seem to have a lot of free time on your hands. Tell me, Razor, that is your name, isn't it? What exactly do you and your friends do for a living?" Razor's brow furrowed in confusion. This wasn't how these confrontations usually went. "What's it to you, rich man?" he growled, trying to regain control of the situation. Charles's smile widened. "Well, you see, I have a proposition for you, one that might be more lucrative and certainly less dangerous than harassing young women on the street." The gang members exchanged glances, their tough exteriors beginning to crack under the weight of curiosity. Even Razor, despite his best efforts to maintain his intimidating facade, couldn't hide his interest. "I'm always on the lookout for individuals with unique skill sets," Charles explained, his voice taking on the tone of a seasoned businessman closing a deal. "And I must say, the coordination and teamwork you've displayed tonight is quite impressive. Have you ever considered putting those talents to use in a more legitimate enterprise? Razor's mouth opened and closed, words failing him for perhaps the first time in his life. The other gang members shifted uncomfortably on their bikes, the roar of their engines now silent in the face of this unexpected turn of events. Charles pressed on, his calm demeanor a stark contrast to the tension that still hung in the air. "I have a new security division opening up at Whitmore Industries. We're in need of individuals who understand the streets, who can think on their feet, and who aren't afraid to face challenging situations. It occurs to me that you and your associates might be uniquely qualified for such positions." The silence that followed was deafening. Bella, who had been frozen in place since her father's arrival, felt her jaw drop in disbelief. This was not at all how she had expected this confrontation to unfold. Razor, after what seemed like an eternity, slowly removed his sunglasses. His eyes, no longer hidden behind the mirrored lenses, revealed a mix of suspicion and hope. "You're offering us jobs?" he asked, his gruff voice tinged with disbelief. Charles nodded, his expression serious. "I'm offering you an opportunity, a chance to use your skills for something meaningful, to build a future instead of tearing others down. Of course, it would require a commitment to leave behind your current activities." The gang members looked to their leader, waiting for his response. Razor's tough exterior seemed to crumble, revealing a man who had perhaps been searching for just such an opportunity without even realizing it. "And if we refuse?" Razor asked, a last attempt at maintaining his tough guy image. Charles's expression hardened slightly. "Then I suppose we'll have to explore other options. I hear the police department is always looking for information on local gang activity. But I'd much prefer to see you and your friends become productive members of society rather than statistics in the criminal justice system." The threat, veiled though it was, hung heavy in the air. But it was the promise of a new beginning that seemed to resonate most with the gang. Razor, after a long moment of internal struggle, dismounted his bike. He approached Charles, his hand extended. "Mr. Whitmore," he said, his voice gruff but sincere, "I think we might be interested in hearing more about this opportunity of yours." Charles smiled, grasping Razor's hand firmly. "Excellent. Why don't we continue this discussion somewhere more comfortable? I know a 24-hour diner not far from here that serves an excellent cup of coffee." As the tension dissipated, Bella finally found her voice. "Dad," she whispered, her eyes wide with a mix of admiration and disbelief. "How did you know?" Charles turned to his daughter, his eyes softening with paternal love. "I always know when you need me, sweetheart. It's a father's instinct." He wrapped an arm around her shoulders, giving her a reassuring squeeze. The crowd that had gathered to witness the standoff stood in stunned silence as Charles Whitmore led both his daughter and the once menacing biker gang towards his waiting Bentley. The night that had begun with fear and intimidation was ending with an unexpected lesson in compassion, opportunity, and the power of seeing potential where others saw only threat. As they walked away, the whispers began. The story of how Charles Whitmore had faced down a biker gang, not with violence or threats, but with an offer of redemption, would soon spread throughout the city. It would become a tale told in boardrooms and back alleys alike, a testament to the transformative power of giving people a chance to change their lives. And for Razor and his crew, this night marked the beginning of a new chapter, one where the roar of their motorcycles would no longer be a sound of menace, but a reminder of the unexpected turn their lives had taken, all because one man had the courage to see beyond their rough exteriors and offer them a path to a better future. As the Bentley pulled away, followed by a procession of motorcycles, the night settled back into its quiet rhythm. But for those who had witnessed the events of this extraordinary evening, the world seemed a little bit brighter, a little more full of possibility. And in the hearts of many, a seed of hope had been planted, a hope that sometimes, even in the darkest of moments, redemption could be found in the most unexpected of places.